Greetings, punks, goths, metalheads, herberts, herbetters, Martians and subterranean folk. How you all doing? My name's John and welcome aboard. Well, today I'm just outside Tintwhistle. I've just walked along the Woodhead Pass for a while, which is a very busy road, and I'm glad I'm off that. You can probably hear the traffic behind me, but I'll be moving away from that on this walk. So today's going to be a bit of a woodland wander walk. Now, I said I'd come back here earlier in the year when there wasn't much greenery or leaves on the trees. I said I'd come back in summer. So here I am today in summer, and I'm hoping it's a lot more shaded and pleasant, so we'll see in a bit. So we're starting to get away from that busy Woodhead Pass road and starting to get a bit more pleasant already, a bit greener, a bit more overgrown, and I must say, even from now, at the beginning of this walk, so much greener and nicer at this time of year. So the weather today, it's a little bit overcast, it's fairly warm but not too hot. We've got a heat wave coming. So I thought I'd get out and do my main walk that I'm going to video today when it's not in a heat wave. Even though today it wouldn't be bad because I'm going to a shaded forest area. So there is another reason why I've come out here today, and it's a big reason. And it's my stress levels are rising and sort of getting towards quite uncomfortable levels at the moment. So I need to bring them down a bit, so I'm doing what I can. I thought getting out today, getting to a forest area and doing a bit of forest bathing might just be perfect, because as I've said many times on this channel, outdoors walking is one of the best things for dealing with anxiety and depression, because it can uplift your mood, seeing all the beautiful nature and wildlife and fauna. And it's also great for you physically, you know, if you try to lose a bit of weight. Well, I'm trying to keep on top of mine all the time, so that's why I do a lot of walking. And also mentally, it's very helpful to me in managing my anxiety and stopping it from becoming overbearing. So already in the distance you can see the wooded area that I'm heading for, up the side of a hillside. You know, it's crazy that not long ago, about 5 minutes ago, I was walking along a really busy road, the Woodhead Pass, and now just off that, got this nice peace and tranquility. It's just what I need today. So on this channel, I'm very pro supporting mental health and physical health. I actually reversed my diabetes and put it into remission by losing 3 stone in a year. But also with mental health, I find the doctor can only do so much. You know, you can go for counselling and stuff, which is very helpful, and they can give you tablets, but that's not going to cure it. What I find is you have to do a bit of the work yourself. You don't have to, but I think, you know, if you put a bit of work in, it'll really help you. And that's me with the outdoors walking, getting out and putting that bit of work in myself. You know, it really makes life much more manageable. Basically, if it didn't work, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be going on these walks. But, you know, if I'm out and I'm doing these walks, I'm doing my walks daily, you know, it's going to say that it's working, basically. So this is much more greener and overgrown than last time I came here. Actually quite beautiful at this time of year. It was beautiful before, but now it's just lush. So we're not too far off from when I'll be doing a climb up. It's about 3/4 of the way up the hill to where I'm going. I have been up on the tops before, and it's a strange, weird place up there. If you've been up there, you'll know what I'm talking about. But for now, we're soon going to be doing a climb. So going back to talking about walking for your health and walking for your mental health, also the physical aspect. If you've got a lot of anxiety and your body's pumping out a lot of adrenaline, an activity such as walking, it can help you walk some of that nervous energy off. Walking and exercise also creates endorphins, which is your body's way of making you feel a bit better. Now the problem is, a lot of people these days, everything's instant this, instant that, download this instantly, shop on Amazon, get your product within the same day. So everyone wants instant results that are going to happen immediately, and it doesn't work like that. When you try to deal with anxiety, it's very gradual. Over a period of time it'll get better, or it'll reduce those levels from dangerous levels down to a more manageable level. And it's a gradual, slow process, a bit at a time. It's not this like big instant, gratification straight away. So I always remember this tree here. It's a good waypoint to memorise. I often memorise waypoints and features. It's a good way of not getting lost. So we're actually in 4K today. I think the last times I've been here was in 1080, but I'm using my 4K camera today, so should be a bit of a difference in quality, and I hope it makes it just that little bit more enjoyable to watch. So we're at the start of the slog up now. I've seen 4-wheel drive vehicles going up here. I think some society protection of birds I've seen going up and down here a few times, but it's a reasonable track to walk up. Tell you what though, what the difference of 4 months make. So much more lush and green. So I think there's a little track that goes right beside the fence. I think that's the one I'm going to follow. So this is the first fence you'll come across going through the woods. It's gated, but it's all locked off. Big padlock. Private land, no public access right away, with a sign pointing to the public footpath. So a bit further up there's another gate what you can go through, and that's the one that I'm going to be going through to access the woodland. Right, I just noticed that wimberries are out now. A little bit like blueberries but smaller. But they're actually much tastier. There we go, got a few of them there. That's basically what they look like. They're a bit smaller than blueberries in general, but a lot more tarty tasting, full of flavour, unlike blueberries. So just a little bit further up, we're at the gate that you can go through to access the woodland area. But just before I go through there, I want to take you up a little bit further up the hill just to show you guys something. So the hills have a lot of history, as you can see here. I'll just zoom in a bit so you can read this. So therefore, we have another reason to be respectful when we're out walking in these places. Don't litter the place, don't fly tip, you know, follow the countryside code. There's a lot of history in these hills and, you know, most people are ignorant of it. Right, so I've just gone through the gate and I'm going into the woodland now, so let's have a look. So as you can see, a lot greener and more leafy at this time of the year. Some of the evergreens are looking a bit sparse, but you can't have everything. So I think I'm going to go down here where this rock is to my favourite little forest bathing spot. I do love woodland, it's my very favourite environment. But then again, I did grow up in woodland area for a few years when I was a kid, so that's why I love it. It's a bit further down. I'm always mindful that there might be snakes, adders in these areas. Like the UK's only venomous snake, and you do get them in this sort of wider area, but I don't know about this one specifically, but I'm wary anyway. I'm always watching the ground where I'm treading. I would like to see one, I think they're beautiful, but you know, I give them a healthy distance. So yeah, it's a lot greener in my little forest bathing spot at this time of year. So as you can see here, there's like a few logs set up. I don't know if someone's done this deliberate. What I have noticed since I've been here is it's actually natural, this little setup where I'm sat. It's just where trees have fell, they've landed on rocks. And then there's been a few tree falls and they've sort of stacked up in this almost natural seating. And I absolutely love it. And it's very green and full of foliage at the moment. It's a lot more hidden than it was when I came last time. It's totally hidden from the main track up and mainly from the sides. So, you know, you're guaranteed peace and quiet here, and, you know, you're miles away from people and civilization. And it's just perfect for soaking up nature, grounding yourself in nature, and just getting those stress levels down a bit. I could sit in a place like this for hours on end. The only problem is you have to go home unless you're going to camp here. But yeah, lovely. And it's these sort of places that I find I can really ground myself and connect with the land. It's sort of free from distractions in the towns and cities. In your houses, everything's built up and everything's covered, and even the lighting, the street lighting, the traffic, all of those things, they're all kind of distracting. And in a place like this, you can ground directly with the land. And for me, I can feel my connection and my relationship with the land. because this is the sort of place that was created to inhabit. This is our natural environment, not what we've created in the towns and cities. That's all artificial. Don't get me wrong, I love my mod cons, I love my computer, my phone. You know, I like watching documentaries on Netflix and Amazon, films, you know, watching YouTube. I have my social media for friends and family. But, you know, I like to be able to get away from that sometimes, and especially when I'm getting away from, not so much getting away from, but especially when I'm trying to reduce my stress. It's these sort of places that are magic. So, being outdoors, I'm aware of many more things. I'm aware of the temperature, the wind, I'm aware of the sounds in the woodland areas, the wind going through the trees, the bird song, and I'm sharing my environment with other creatures that live here. Just saw a roe deer before. I wasn't quick enough to turn the camera around to film it, it was off. There may be snakes in the area, there's definitely common lizards in the area. You've got weasels, stoats, rabbits, hares, all kinds of creatures and wildlife, and they're all part of your natural environment. And I really do find it uplifting when I see wildlife, as well as all the greenery and nature. So I think I'm going to have a good chill out here for about an hour when I finish filming today. I find it really is helpful to my mental well-being doing this forest bathing. I mean, mental health, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's still got a bit of a stigma. Most of the time, if someone says to you, how are you? You'll just immediately say, I'm all right, I'm good. When actually you might not be feeling good. I mean, at the worst, you might say, oh, I'm a bit stressed at the moment. But when you say that, that kind of diminishes that a lot, because you don't want to burden other people with it. And that's how most people are. And when you say you might be a bit stressed, or even if you say you're okay, in reality, you might be having sleepless nights due to stress and anxiety. You know, you might be off your food with anxiety. You might be having panic attacks. So, you know, does still have a bit of a stigma, and people still do find it hard to talk about. It's becoming better, so more people are talking about it more openly, like I am. And I think it's important, because we all have mental health. It just depends where we are on the scale. You know, we might be on a scale where it's, you know, very low, or we might be on a scale when it's very high. So we're all at different scales of mental health, different points in your life. And some of us might have anxiety issues when it's always quite high, like myself. So with me, with the walking and stuff, I'm trying to work on making it to more manageable levels that I can live with most of the time. And, you know, sometimes when it's getting quite high, I do come out and seek places like this to, you know, try and get my levels down a bit. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, it does get them to more manageable levels. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up for today. So thanks for coming along with me on this little adventure. I hope you enjoyed coming along. And until the next video, don't forget, be different, stay weird, and stay free. Bye now.